back to the Berg podcast. Thanks for joining us today. With me today is Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And we are talking about the fall. So it's October here, and in the Northeast in Pennsylvania, that generally means the weather starts to turn, the leaves start to turn. We go from mowing the lawn to blowing and bagging the leaves.
We get the gobbler shows up at Wawa.
The gobbler? Yes. Yeah, that's always a good...
Everything is pumpkin spice, but that's been since August, I think.
Yeah, pumpkin spice is like Christmas. It shows up a month earlier every year, and I feel like pretty soon we're going to have it in July. It's going to be like the 4th of July pumpkin spice special. Yeah,
I think you and I should get a gobbler and take video of us eating it and send it to Ford because he can't get one. And that's Ford actually loves the gobbler.
He loves the gobbler. It's funny because prior to Ford talking about it, I never tried the gobbler, right? And so I, having now tried the gobbler, thought it was a Wawa thing. But you can get the gobbler at a multitude of places.
Yeah.
And
Wawa's just great at marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Those Kelsey brothers, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they do a great job.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. So, and fall's also our fiscal new year, right? Like, we turn over every September 30th. We turn over, start over again, run out there and do it again for another year. Yeah,
exactly. And it feels like a weird time to have a new fiscal new year, right? But seasonally, it kind of makes sense given the snow season.
It made sense a long time ago.
Yeah. Now the snow season's changed. The fall season's extended.
Yeah.
All of it feels convoluted.
But we just, at this point, it is what it is. So we stick with it. So the leaves have been nice. Exactly what you'd expect out of the Northeast. There's a lot of colors. The leaves turn over. Always gets to this time of year. It gets to be fall, and you get a chill in the air, and you realize it's changing. It makes you. For me, it makes me appreciate summer. I like the summer winter season sort of thing. What do you guys do? So the first thing that's really coming up for us is the Halloween parade back home is like a big deal in Medford, where I'm from.
Is it? Do you have a big Halloween parade?
Yeah, they have a big Halloween parade. We have won it. We had won it 2 or 3 years in a row. We had a big floats that we would put in it when I was back in Jersey with the electrical construction company.
Really?
Yeah, so we'd overdo it just because it was we were small, like when I started here. So it was just me and my siblings just playing, having fun.
Yeah. I don't know of anywhere locally that does a big Halloween parade, right? I mean,
isn't there one in Westchester? I heard Ford.
Oh, is there?
Is there some? I thought Tori told me there was a big one somewhere around here.
Elverson has like something. I don't even know if they call it the Halloween or the fall parade or something like that, but that's about the only one I know of. Just because I think of the area's history. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be a high extensive amount of things of that nature.
Yeah. Halloween's not a well celebrated or popular holiday event in like Lancaster County in general. Like I guess maybe like the rural Lancaster County areas that we're in. I think a lot of it is for religious reasons,
That was a conversation Ford and I had actually a long time ago. I was like, my kids were little. He didn't have kids yet. And I said about Halloween, and he like sort of said something. I was like, wait, you don't celebrate Halloween? He was like, no. And he like went over why. And I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we've always taken our kids trick-or-treating, at least when they were younger.
Yeah. Even now.
We didn't, even now, Got my
What's Gavin going to be?
Grown kids, taking them out trick-or-treating. But I mean, we don't necessarily we participate.
Yeah,
we don't celebrate.
No, the girls are big on it. The girls are. Aaron's got the house. We have like one of those giant spider webs.
Oh, cool.
With big spiders on it, and then this inflatable like ghost-looking thing.
Yeah.
And then Aaron this year she got a projector and reversed it onto the window over the front entrance of the house.
Yeah.
So there's like a giant dancing skeleton. Well, it changes. Sometimes it's a giant dancing skeleton. Other times it's a bunch of skeletons. Sometimes it's pumpkins.
Have you ever seen the ones? They're getting so realistic where it looks like the house is on fire.
I have, yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a guy.
It's alarming.
There's a guy, and there's no way this person will hear this podcast, right? But our guys drive by it and will know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So on 401 at Backton Hill, there's an old farmhouse. The guy does concrete work. I know because I've seen his truck. And this guy has at least 2 storage containers, sea containers out back for Christmas and Halloween.
Oh, that's
Brian. I'm telling you, there's movie sets that don't have this kind of stuff. I mean, the stuff he has, unbelievable lights. His electric bill, I don't even know I don't care about the LEDs. There's so many lights And it's like you could walk through it. I mean, I never see anybody other than like his kids or people he knows walk through it.
Yeah.
But everybody coming down 401 one way or the other, they tap the brakes. And the girls like look forward to it. They're like, oh man, the house is decorated. Because I saw it the other day and they were like, you didn't know it was decorated? I was like, no, I didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing. Some people, it's like they have movie sets in their front yard now.
People go all out. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
We don't really...
access to stuff is so much better. You can get all that stuff. In the old days, like, whatever you got at the local Kmart or
I mean, you got those leaf
Sears,
bags, right?
your only options. Yeah.
The pumpkins that you fill with leaves.
The trash bags that you fill with the leaves that look like pumpkins.
Yeah. My dad used to make a scarecrow when I was young, and he would hang it from a tree in the front. Like it was a scarecrow hanging in the tree. Like genuinely, took his own old like shirts and clothes, like an actual scarecrow, stuff that was straw from like my grandma's farm, and then would have like a scarecrow hanging in the front.
That's great. I love it.
But that was the extent of it. That was the decorations.
Yeah.
Some pumpkins.
I thought about doing like the inflatable Philly Fanatic, and then lighting it on fire. And it would just be melting. It'd be melting in the front yard.
It would be like the Phillies themselves, just a complete meltdown.
Yeah, symbolic of our playoff run. It's just a total meltdown. I thought about doing that, but then I thought, why would I have invested more money in this team? So,
ouch, Phillies.
I'm sure you can get that on like Amazon for like $3 or something. It'll be shipped to you.
You would be
2 weeks.
surprised how proprietary the Fanatic stuff is.
Yeah, I would not be surprised that Mara, talk about aggravating. I have never in my life. That's not true. One time or two times I bought like, the college package back in the day for football.
Okay.
But I have never paid like as an adult really for any of those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? The Phillies are solid. They're going to make a run. Mara loves to watch the Phillies, and I don't have cable. She has no way to watch it. I'm going to pay for the MLB package. It wasn't expensive. It was like $25.
Right.
And I get every playoff game and some preseason games. She watched 2. 2 games, Brian. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Well, MLB too is weird because like it black out a lot of stuff that if it is on local
if it's
or
on
national
local.
TV.
It's a mess. So, but anyway, so we have the Halloween parade
we do
this weekend.
Oh, you guys have
we do family wide. So I have a bunch of soccer as you would expect.
Yeah.
And then we're going to run. I think we're going to start out in Downingtown. Aaron will head for Mercersburg. I'm heading for North Jersey, North Morris Plains. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to meet in Medford for the Halloween parade.
Nice. That's cool.
And on Friday we have a trunk or treat that actually Berg's doing. That Tori and I are going to go down and do. So that's fun. You get to see the kids and they decorate the equipment a little bit, put some skeletons and stuff on it and spider webs.
Yeah. I know we've done the Elverson parade in the past. It's always cool because we'd like dress up the machines and put googly eyes on them and all that kind of stuff. And it's usually a good time. I know Tracy and Aubrey and Kelsey used to do that a lot. And then I think there were a couple of years where it didn't happen. Yeah. So we kind of fell off of it.
Yeah,
but
we talked about it, doing it this year. And that's where I swear Tori told me there was a bigger parade in Westchester and we could decorate the low boy and do it. And I was like, we can talk about it. If we want to do it, it's something you got to plan a little bit. We had some crazy ones in Jersey, bro. One of the years we won it was, you remember when the game Rock Band came out?
No.
So it was like Guitar Hero.
Oh, all right.
Right. So that like variation of a thing.
Yeah.
And we had an entire float that was in symmetrical construction, so I can wire anything I want. It was like it was a rolling club. Like we had built, there was dancers. It was, and then there was a circuitous route that you were supposed to take back to park your float. But I elected that we were going to take the float all the way back to our house. We drove all through town with the real versions of the songs that were playing on. And the girls still danced. It was a great time, brother. It was pre-kids. There was no kids involved there.
This is going back a while.
It's going back a little while, but I remember it well.
Reminiscing about the glory days.
Yeah, but I thought about it when they said about the Westchester Parade. Like we could. I mean, I didn't have access to what we do now. Just the things that we take for granted. We could throw a giant Traco onto a low boy and run a couple generators. We could decorate whatever we wanted.
Light it up. Yeah.
Maybe we do it. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We gotta figure out if we're gonna do one of these things.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about Halloween, I think in general, is it's such a dual holiday. Like it's the little kids and the candy, and then there's like the grown-up version.
Yeah.
And the two of them do not usually coincide.
No, you got to keep them separate.
No, they don't coexist. You have to do them independently.
Very different costumes.
Yes. Yeah.
Different clarifications of them, the scare factor, the costume factor. It's very different.
Yeah. My brother-in-law and his wife, Allie's brother and his wife, They do a Halloween party every year in Pittsburgh. They invite us every year, and we usually can't go for one reason or another. But this year, so Aiden has a game. We're Friday night. We're gonna drive out. Aiden has a game in Cleveland State. 2 games on Saturday morning. Well, we thought Saturday morning. It's actually gonna be Saturday afternoon now. But so we're gonna be passing technically the Pittsburgh area on our way home. And so we're going to go Saturday to an adult Halloween party.
What's your costume here, Brian?
Yeah. Okay. So I thought they were great, right? I thought these were going to be awesome costumes. Okay. I'm coming to the conclusion, though, that they would be great, I think, locally, not necessarily in Pittsburgh. So I think people may have no idea what we are. So, but we're going as Allie's going as the Phillies Karen.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going as a fanatic. Okay. So, but I think what's going to ultimately happen is she's going to be a lady with gray hair in a Philly sweatshirt, and I'm going to be like some green monster, and people will be like, "What is happening right now?
What is happening?" Yeah. Well, you just stick with it. No, you know what?
We're going with it. But yeah.
All right. So I got a way you can make sure they know is when they say, "What are you?" Yeah. Allie just has to go off. Just start screaming.
She has to start giving people the finger.
Yes, right. And like give her best
steal their drinks out of their hands.
Is it Amy Poehler? No. Is it Amy Poehler or who's the other one that's always with Amy? She does a great Delco. Okay. Who's the other? Ford, you know who I'm talking about. Amy Poehler is the blonde. Who's the brunette? Right. Was on 30 Rock. Oh my God.
Not Tina Fey.
Tina Fey. So Allie's just on your ride out. Have Allie just watch Tina Fey playing Delco. Okay. And if she can just mirror that and just lay into people, and they'll be like,
what is happening?
What is happening? And then all of a sudden, they'll get it eventually.
Because Pittsburgh thinks they're the Midwest. They're not, but they think they're the Midwest. Yeah. And so this is, if we play it up right, they'll have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, they have no idea what's coming. And then, does your costume have like the tongue thing that it shoots out?
No. So
that would be sweet. Then you just.
This is how I realized how proprietary the Fanatic stuff is.
You've tried to buy a costume.
I tried to buy a Fanatic costume, and it is impossible. They don't exist, which I found very surprising. Did you know you could go on to Amazon today and buy a Gritty costume for like $100, and it looks legitimate. Giant mask, the big orange hair.
And he's new.
That's what I was like, what the heck?
Fanatic's been around for 50 years.
Yeah. So what I didn't know is, and this is all like carnal, this is all like knowledge you find out when you're trying to do something that is not as easy as you thought it was going to be. There apparently is was a big lawsuit at one point between the Phillies and the Jim Henson.
Yes. I do remember this.
So yeah, apparently the original Fanatic design came from someone who worked for like the Muppets company. Mm-hmm. They tried to sue. The Phillies modified the costume a little bit, and so I think that's got to have something to do with it. It's pretty much impossible to
So you built your own Fanatic?
Well, not really. I have this furry green costume, and have you seen the Foco Fanatic hats? It's like the fluffy hat with the Fanatic on top, so I'm gonna wear that. Okay, so it's a feeble attempt.
All right. Well, but given the circumstances,
So I did consider going.
I thought you might also be able to go as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I thought about Brandon Marsh.
Ooh, Brandon Marsh.
But the Brandon Marsh and the Philly Karen pairing would have been kind of silly. So because Allie was like, you have the beard. So,
That's not a compliment.
Yeah, I know. And, the greasy long hair.
You don't have the greasy long hair. No.
So. But yeah,
I wonder what Ford's going to be for Halloween.
Hey Ford, what are you going to be?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Right. Grumpy. He's going to be grumpy.
I think it's been about 20 years since I tried that one time, and that was about the end of it. That was a Matt Stairs imitation.
Okay.
Nice.
And that was the end of that situation. No, now it's just trying to collect all the candy, make sure the kids don't eat it in one sitting.
Yeah.
And
so we go the
last
opposite.
year, whatever, took.
You give it
no, we do it. We do a trade. They get to trade it in for something. So that's the way to reduce the amount of sugar that's directly injected into their veins. Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
There's a trade for a small amount of money, like a per piece price, which is not a great deal, but the kids get some money out of it. But they also have 20 minutes that they can eat as much candy as they want to eat. They can eat,
And that's it.
and then that's it.
One
Then you're
20-minute shot
selling.
and-
It is not an option to sell the candy.
It's
You
all
can
gone.
sell it to me, or I'll just take it. It's your call. But 20 minutes, and
Do you guys-
Nora puts on a clinic. Nora, she's unbelievable. It was the first time that we did it, and she opened up a Cadbury egg and had never had one, and she stuck the whole thing in her mouth, and then she's like, "It has stuff in it." And she was so excited, but she will make herself sick. She won't get sick, but she's going to pound as much candy as she can in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She wants to get as little money as possible for that candy.
That's too funny. Do you guys do you inspect the candy?
They look at it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We both
This
know
was
that I am not the responsible party.
This was like a really big thing when I was little.
Yeah.
You know, like my parents had to go through all the candy and like make sure that somebody hadn't put razor blades on my apples.
Yeah,
and-
that was not a thing when I was a kid.
Okay.
You got to remember, I'm older than you guys. That's like a 90s thing. In the 80s, I either no one did it or no one cared.
yeah.
So
I don't know.
on a separate 80s thing, completely off topic though, Ford, I saw the coolest game for like Gen X stuff. Somebody made a life-size Operation game,
Oh.
and it was hooked to a 12-volt car battery. Ford, I immediately wanted to play. I was like, I am in for this game. I might have a party and invite you to just to play this game.
Just to play?
I want my brother there. Both my brothers can come, even my sister. I don't know if my sister will do it, but I'm sure my two brothers, I can bait them into it. Because that guy got hit, man. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, 12 volt.
Yeah.
That's something. You better have steady hands.
I guess. Holy smokes.
So that could be part of my Halloween party, Ford.
Yeah.
When I invite you, it's going to be a required costume for Ford.
No. The other thing that's cool this time of year is the touch a truck stuff.
Yes.
Like, I know we're doing one.
Yeah, we're
coming
doing
up
one in
here.
town.
But that seems to have maybe, to some extent, replaced some of like the parade type things,
It
right?
does.
So like,
The trick or trunk, the touch or chalk, all that stuff. Yeah, it's replaced it.
Yeah, you kind of set it up so the kids can see the stuff interact with it instead of just watch it drive by.
Yep.
It's cool. It's a neat concept. I remember when my kids were younger, they loved that kind of stuff. You know, the heavy equipment, the big concrete trucks, and all of those things. Especially my boys, I think it's got to be like a little boy thing to some extent. Not to be sexist, but like little boys like to beat stuff up and play with things that look like they can beat stuff up. So,
and it's one of those things. I have 3 girls. Ford's got 2 girls, but I think there's a part of it that's also the culture is built. Like you do it to the kids at such a young age that if you regularly pound them with it, that by the time that they're 5 or 6, you've conditioned them to it to some degree.
That kind of makes sense.
Instead of just people doing whatever it is they do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I get that.
But yeah,
it's whatever they're around, right?
Yeah, and we got a couple of guys are really helping out. Keith's always great.
Yeah.
So Keith's going to do one, and then Brooks is moving equipment so that the other one, it doesn't interrupt us next week.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it because the guys are just willing to step in and help and play along. So
no, that's great. And like it's like I think we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago, but like you don't realize like the little bit of impact that has on a lot of pieces of the community.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and the people, and they just sort of, I know specifically with these 2 events, they come to like expect it. You know what I mean? Like at this point, it's become a regular thing that we'll do these 2 things, and it impacts people. You know what I mean? The kids like it, to your point, whether it be little kids or some of the older kids, just to be able to see this stuff and be near it, and it's neat. It's a neat opportunity.
Yeah,
it worked out for me actually this year with we're doing a project. At Montgomery School.
The baseball field, right?
And we're doing the baseball field. And so the equipment was there. So everybody's like, what are you going to move? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to figure this out. Is the equipment going to be here? Like, is the timing going to work out? And then yesterday, it was funny that Charlotte had a game and the guys are working behind her. So the game started at like 3:30. I ran down there. I had met with the guys. It worked out for me. So I got to see her game and the machines are running behind. And when we were driving home, Charlotte said she didn't actually know. I hadn't talked to her about that we were doing anything with the field. The Berg specifically was doing anything, and she said so. People were talking about it all day that they're out there ruining the Greek and Roman day game field. Like that's the field that they have their like field day thing. And I was like, well, you can have a field day with the baseball field cut in. And she was like, well, I don't know. And I was like, we're doing that. And she was like, I didn't realize it till like end of the day. We went out for the game. People had been complaining all day. And Charlotte was sort of like, yeah, why would they do that? And then she said, I walked out there and I was like, wait a minute. That's Berg stuff. And they were like, yeah. And she was like, oh, and then it changed completely. Then it was a good idea. Everything was going to be fine.
It's going to be great.
Don't worry. Then, later Mara said the same thing. Mara got home at night and she was like, yeah, Mara's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Mara's friends said, like, they were texting and they're like, your dad's digging up the middle of the Greek and Roman field. Like, wait a minute, I'm helping. Guys, I'm helping here.
You personally had decided.
Yeah, I personally decided I'm just going to dig in the middle of your field.
We're going to do this. I don't like where this looks.
Yeah, I was like, it's going to be great when it's done. They're like, we'll see, because people change.
Real skeptical.
It looks great. I'll tell you, I asked Tori to go out and take some pictures of it. Guys did an amazing job. I mean, that could be that's our new niche. We're going to build baseball fields, golf courses, baseball fields, whatever. Yeah. But again, being impactful, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that people are going to enjoy.
Which is cool. Very cool. Yeah. So, you guys do, Dan, you guys do like the apple cider, but is that an all year round thing?
So Weavers had managed to extend it pretty far, but it does run out still. Even Weavers runs it because the girls, they like Weavers specifically. Yeah. Like, you can go buy another, they don't care.
Another version.
Yeah, they like Weavers, or I mean, like, if you found someone like making their own apple cider, but they claim they can taste the difference between like how fresh Weavers apple cider is. Mm-hmm. And Charlotte actually had floated the idea that I would, at the trick or trunk, I would have like warm apple cider that I would give to everybody. Wow. But it's a lot of work to try and get that together. I got enough going on without trying to figure that out.
Yeah, keeping it hot.
Keeping hot apple cider at the thing. I was like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. But she can't believe that there's
Have you actually done the press? Like, ever done that anywhere? Like, you actually press the apples and how, like, I mean, I know Weaver's is delicious, but like, we did it one time. Someone actually had a press and we did the apples there. And it's like a whole different thing. It's just kind of like fresh pasta versus stuff in the box. Like,
we
both
missed
are good, but it's completely different profile.
Yeah, we missed that friend group that you're aware of. That I don't know why they don't still do the fall party with them making apple cider, because that was pretty amazing. But we only experienced that, I think, once or twice. So I think if they could, I don't know if you want to say who they are, call them out on the air there, but if they could get around to making apple cider again, that'd be pretty sweet.
Gotcha.
Well, the other part is, like, with apple cider is so tricky because it's like, it goes so quick. And like, one day you're like, oh, this is delicious. And the next day you're like,
it's hard cider.
Yeah, it turns, and like, you don't even notice it. Like, once you open it, you have like 24 hours to like finish the gallon of it because,
well,
day 2, day 3, it starts getting sketch.
Yeah, and so counterproductive, because I mean, Weaver's apple cider is not cheap, and you buy a gallon of it, but then Charlotte knows, like, you got to drink it.
Drink it fast.
Fast. Although Charlotte, in another, Charlotte loves kombucha, and she also loves apple cider when it starts to turn for it, which is very concerning to me because it's basically starting to taste like alcohol,
like hard cider.
Yeah,
that's like baby steps there.
Yeah, it's baby steps for my Charlotte. Yeah, she's well down that road of between kombucha and that she likes fermented things.
Likes the fermented juice.
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
Interesting.
I see a triple IPA drinker in the future.
Didn't Ford, maybe you know this, did Hopewell Furnace used to do like a fall fest where you could go,
Apple Festival.
Yeah, I feel like I did it there at Hopewell, where you could like do the apple press or whatever. So,
you know what else is really cool? It's not Warwick. Ford, what's the state park that's up above Warwick, like between Birdsboro and there's an old iron ore type mill up there.
Furnace, not Warwick Furnace.
Not Warwick Furnace. You know what I'm talking about. There's a state park, a furnace up there that still, like, not actively runs, but still runs, that they'll have demonstrations. Okay. But they have like tons of apple trees that somebody, like, that was the caretaker, the owner of it originally, planted over years. So they're like the original, what do they call, heirloom? They're like heirloom versions of all of the original apples that we would have had around here. Yeah. And you go and pick them, and then you pay like some nominal fee per pound. Sure. And we've done that a couple of years, and then Aaron will make it into pie or apple crisp or something. We never try to make apple cider because I don't have a press.
Problem is you need like 20 pounds of them because the traditional or heirloom is like the size of a quarter of a golf ball. You're like, okay, where's the rest of the apple at? Yeah.
Well, we did the apple picking over at Weaver's. Went up with the kids and stuff like that, and it's always really surprising to me, the variety, the number of apple species because of the cross pollinations and everything. You know, they all have like the same name because they've figured out like people like certain things, right?
Crisp.
So
all the crisp.
Something crisp. So you get like 11 different variations of the crisp. So.
Well, that's like growing up. If you had the best apple, it would have been Red Delicious, right? And now Red Delicious are so mushy compared. Like I'm like, how did I like this? Like, what did the other apple taste like? And I was fortunate growing up, even though we've talked about it. People picture Jersey and they think North Jersey. Sure. That's not where I grew up. But my grandmom and my great grandmom's property, they had like 7-10 acres, and they had my great grandfather had planted a vineyard and all other stuff. Mm-hmm. But they had a couple of each tree. So we had like apple trees, cherry trees, I think prune, apricot. Then there was fig and stuff like that too. But like, so I remember as a kid, like being able to go around, and they had a bunch of crab apple, which was the best for we used to play crab apple baseball in the fall. That's like, talk about a fall thing that just came back to me. Yeah. We'd have like my grandfather's old wooden bats. Like my favorite was there was a Roberto Clemente, like white ash bat. Okay. And we would collect all the apples in a bushel of the crab apples. And then you'd go like some distance away and you'd throw them. It was apple baseball. You just blow up apples.
That's cool.
And, but it was growing up. You could just pick them, like even cherries, we'd walk around and pick cherries and just eat. It was, it's just, I didn't appreciate it at the time, how different it was.
Sure. Cause it was
normal.
Yeah,
it was normal.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
when did that whole thing become just question? Like, when did that whole thing become such a thing?
Pick your own,
like the orchard things, and is that just part of this like new movement? But
I remember
that as a kid
from New Jersey.
Just, like all of a sudden now everybody has to do like, what's the Villa one down there in Jersey, Dan? And there's like 20 of them around, but it's this crazy thing on the weekends. Like, there's just people everywhere.
Yeah. So, and I know like a variation of this story from Jersey that I do not believe we have ever paid to go apple or anything picking, Aaron and I. Like I'm principally against it. Like I will go pick apples if it's like at a place that just has like that, like the furnace. But to go to like Weaver's and pick the apples, I feel like you charged me the same price and you didn't even have to pick the apples. Like this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I did the work for you and I paid the same price. I feel like.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't have to be accurate. Sure. But the story I had heard in Jersey was there was a farm, Johnson's. It's a giant farm in Medford. And Johnson sold their development rights. You're probably going back 40 years ago. They were one of the first ones that I knew to do it in Jersey. They sold like 100 years worth of development rights for millions of dollars. And then they went one step further and they started this pick your own thing. And I was like, this is crazy. And my uncle and all of them were friends. And they said it was like to attract the people that were moving. Like when the orchard existed, it existed because all of these farmers, and they shared crops and they didn't have as big of properties. But as they built all these subdivisions, the people like wanted to have this feeling of being like on a farm. You know what I mean? So like, It's no different than like when you have what do you call the when they go out and you ride the horses? And there's a name for that.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I mean, so for us, like, we didn't grow up in like rural areas where like farming was super prevalent. And so I think like as we, like when we were younger, and we moved to areas where that kind of stuff was accessible, we didn't necessarily still have farmland. We didn't have somewhere like walk out our backyard and pick fruit off the trees or like things like that. Like we did have horses, but I think that's part of it. So like access to that type of experience was always neat for us because like going somewhere and literally being able to pull the fruit off the tree and eat it, just not something that I had ever experienced prior to being in this area. And I think for us, it might have started with some like the corn maze, pumpkin patch stuff, because like, like growing up when I was young, if you wanted to carve pumpkins, you went to the grocery store and you picked your pumpkin out of a big box.
Yep.
Right. And so moving to rural Lancaster County when I was still like a teenager and my siblings were younger, going to the pumpkin patch and walking into the field and like picking the pumpkin you wanted, it was just such a novel experience that I think that's kind of, for us at least, what drew us to that whole idea of being able to go somewhere and get the fruit from the vine, get the fruit from the tree. So I gotta believe that's part of it.
Yeah, I think you're probably onto it. That's That's what it is. And then this could be like maybe the last thing for me on this topic. But you know what? As we were talking, and I was thinking about that property, my great grandfather's property, and I was saying one of the like fondest is really the word I want to use. Memories I have is I would have had to be 4 or 5. So first, those of you playing along, we're not even into the 80s yet. We're probably talking like late 70s. And they would, it was a big Italian family, and they would all get together, and there was a lot of them. And on that property where at that point, you'd be able to walk around. At that point, you'd be picking apples, and his vines would be he wouldn't have picked the vines yet, so the grapes would still be on the vines. But he had 2 giant chestnut trees, and they would collect the chestnuts, and there would be like a huge fire in this barrel, and they would roast the chestnuts. And like, I remember the sound of it, not like the song, but like as part of my own childhood that I remember, and like eating chestnuts, which can taste pretty good. Like I debate now whether they taste good because they taste good or because like my memory of it,
right, yeah.
But I did not realize the song until I was much older. You know what I mean? That like chestnuts roasting on an open fire, whatever that song is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until older. Like I knew it as a thing that they did,
right.
Like every year they would pick and you'd go around and to pick chestnuts. I don't know if you've ever tried it. It's not easy because they're in the most wicked, spiny, like a chestnut is inside of what looks like trying to pick up a porcupine.
Okay.
And it like breaks open the least little bit when they're like ripe, and then you like peel it open like an orange almost, or an onion, and then in the middle is the chestnut. So it was painful, and there was like 5 or 6 boys that were all probably under 8, and so then they'd get thrown at people, and that was so it became a whole thing. But I remember,
weapons,
but like you remember it fondly. I didn't realize how much I got to grow up in the country until I realized other people didn't
do that kind of stuff.
So for me, fall still reminds me of that stuff, going back to Medford and the parade and all the things I would have done as a kid.
Yeah, that's cool. That's probably a fair place to wrap it up. So thanks for joining us today, folks. We hope you got something from this episode, and we hope you come back for another one.